There are different reasons why scientists are playing with genetics and cloning certain types of animals, as I will explain below for the most interesting cloned animals I could find. For each DNA that is replicated, the strand of chromosomes becomes shorter than the original DNA. Therefore, the animal cloned will age faster than a naturally born animal, directly resulting in the lifespan of the cloned animal subjects being greatly reduced. Dolly. Dolly the goat was cloned in 1996 from the cells of a naturally born 6-year-old goat, using the same method that was used first in the treatment of infertility in humans during the 1970s. Dolly, a female clone, was born in the Roslin Institute of Scotland. The success of this cloning was long overdue, as it took 277 attempts from scientists to finally create a successful specimen in the cloning process. Astonishingly enough, Dolly was fertile and completely capable of mating and successfully reproducing the same as any other animal. She produced 4 lambs naturally. She was eventually put down at the age of 6 due to arthritis in her legs. A sheep was chosen to be cloned to determine if the breeding stock of sheep can be mutated to prevent certain disease and produce better products for human usage. Copycat. Copycat was cloned in 2001 from a tabby cat named Rainbow. In 2006, Copycat gave birth to 3 kittens naturally. Researchers had originally started out trying to clone dogs, but had very little success, so they turned to cats at the University of Texas. The cloning of pets was to try and clone beloved pets that passed away, but the problem with this is that we crave the personalities and the behaviors in which, unfortunately, cannot be cloned by genetics. In the sense of making a clone of a pet to replace one that had passed away, this is a fail. They can clone cats from past ones, but they will not act the same as the one before. Idaho Jim. Idaho Jim was created by taking an egg from a horse and adding DNA from the skin cells of a mule fetus. This was then placed in a mare to carry to term. This occurred in 2003. Researchers at the University of Idaho had to do the cloning this way because they could not successfully clone a horse or a mule. So they decided to try combining the two, and they were successful. The cloning of an animal in equine was done because people spend tons of money on trying to breed specifics whenever it comes to their horses, but are left with a hit or miss, and it could be a great opportunity to present those with a for sure way of playing with the genes to give the people exactly what they want. Would you rather spend a lot of money on maybe getting what you're asking for, or spend more but get exactly what you want? There is potential business here if research continues. Ombretta. Ombretta was cloned to save the mouflon species from the brink of extinction because of a massive amount of poaching that had taken place in their habitat. Created in Iran, the last sheep they created that passed away lived 5 years. The scientists are cloning these sheep by taking cells from one sheep and placing it in an unfertilized egg and placing it in a surrogate sheep to have the fetus carried full term. This is a very successful look at how cloning can be beneficial. Noto and Kaga. These 2 calves were cloned in 1998 by the Ishwaka Livestock Research Center. Noto and Kaga were cloned as an attempt to try to improve meat and milk products by combining superior genes for producing larger amounts of milk and meat, along with increasing the quality of the milk and meat instead of having to choose quality or quantity. They were born 40 days early, and at a year old were still smaller than the average size cow, unsure as to whether it was due to being premature or from being cloned. In conclusion, scientists have been cloning animals for decades now, and for many different reasons. For example, Dolly was cloned to determine if the breeding stock of sheep can be mutated to prevent certain disease and produce better products for human usage. Another animal that has been cloned was a cat, also known as Copycat. Copycat was cloned to try and replicate the pets of those who had passed away. The cloning was a success, but the personalities and behaviors would not match the past cat, therefore making this clone reasoning a failure. A mule was cloned as well in hopes of being able to play with the gene pool in horses used for racing, as there is a lot of money spent on trying to get the perfect racehorse. Along with these animals was a mouflon that was named Ombretta. The mouflon species was cloned to keep them from going extinct as they had become overkilled by poachers. The last type of animal I discussed was calves. The two calves named Noto and Kaga were cloned as an attempt to create a cow that supplies the best quantity and quality of milk and meat instead of just choosing one. All these animals were cloned to further research to better satisfy the human population or save a species from complete extinction. For my visual aid, I will have a poster board with pictures of all the clones and their surrogates. And that is, what animals have we cloned and why?